Howdy again, folks. Another video I wanted to do on bringing you up to date on the RV lifestyle and our preparations for it. And it's been a while since I've talked about this, and I want to discuss what I think is the absolute most important issue facing anybody that wants to go full-time RVing. And that, of course, is their choice of rig. I mean, it is the biggest financial decision you're going to have to make, and getting it right is really important. And with so many different combinations of rigs available, man, you got to work it out. So today I wanted to do a video on where I'm at as far as that decision is concerned, because I should have started and wanted to start this adventure about 4 years ago, but because of a medical issue I'm still waiting, but it will happen very soon, and so we're getting close. But the advantage of having to wait 4 years is I had an opportunity to do a ton of research, and I probably know everything I need to know to get started. Obviously, there's going to be things that come up once I get going, but to kick this off, I think I'm pretty well educated and informed about what I'm going to be facing. The other advantage of the 4 years is I really got a chance to research rigs, and this was really, really important. And I've come up with what I think in an ideal world for me would be the perfect spec on a rig. And that's what I want to talk about today, because I had to make a trip to Toronto late last week, and as I often do, I check the RV dealerships to see what they've got coming in at that time, and maybe I'll stop and see if there's something new. Well, it turns out at Outdoor Travel in Little Bear, you just leave me alone. At Outdoor Travel in Hamilton, they had an RV come in that actually happened to meet my exact spec, so I had to stop and look, and that's what I'm going to do, is we're going to tour that RV today. But the specs that I found, and I'm going to leave price out of this for the moment, because you can go new, you can go used, let's just leave price out. And it has to be a factor, and in an ideal world, well, what is the perfect RV? Well, you know, I mean, you can talk about $1 million rig. That's out of the question for most of us. It's certainly out of the question for me. I don't want to go there. Besides, it wouldn't actually be my ideal rig, because I couldn't go in places that I wanted to go. So the spec that I've come up with has 4 criteria, and that's what I wanted to look at today. So my RV spec in a perfect world is a 32-foot coach. I don't want to go any bigger than that, because it's going to become more difficult to boondock, a little more difficult to get into some of the state parks, the national forests and parks, and that sort of thing. Now, they say 24 feet is the ideal to get into all these places, but that is expanding, and 32 feet seems to be fitting into most of these places right now. So 32 feet is as high as I want to go. I don't want to go lower than that, into the 24, 22 range, because then I lose the bedroom, and that's not going to happen for me. So the first spec is 32 feet. The second spec is that I want a Class A diesel pusher. I guess that's spec 2 and 3. I want a Class A, and I want it to be diesel. Now, there's a lot of pros and cons as to diesel, but I felt that I'm going to live in this thing for 10 or 15 years, and I want it to survive and to last. And I'm going to go over mountain ranges, and more importantly than anything, I like the breakability of the diesel. Even though it's more expensive to repair, braking with a diesel pusher is a little easier and a little safer than it is in a gas RV. So that's the second and the third spec. And then the fourth one might be the most important of them all. I want a Freightliner chassis. It's a chassis built for trucks. It's heavy duty. It's going to last. And I just think it gives me a little more room underneath the coach for storage. I just think it's an all-round better choice when it comes to RVing full-time. So I thought, okay, that's my perfect spec. I researched it. I couldn't find a coach that met those specs until I went on Facebook, and I went into some of my RV groups, and I posted the spec and asked people, is there a coach even made to these specs? And instantly it came back. The Tiffin Allegro Breeze 32BR meets the spec exactly. Well, they're not the easiest things to find, especially here in the Niagara Falls area, but that's what I found at Outdoor Travel on the weekend in Hamilton. It's a 2012, and I wanted to go in and look at it, and here's what I found. Okay, I'm here in Hamilton, Ontario at Outdoor Travel to see a Tiffin Allegro Breeze 32BR, and this is a 2012. So this is the Tiffin Allegro Breeze 32BR. We're going to do a quick walk around the outside, have a look at it, and then go inside. Now, when I was looking at the specs for this thing, the only problem I think that might be an issue is it only has a 5,000 pound hitch, and I want to pull about 7,500 pounds. I don't want to have a towed. I want to have a cargo trailer that'll have my scooter and a bunch of equipment inside it, and I think this could be a problem. I even contacted Tiffin about it, and they are confirming that it's a 5,000 pound hitch. Now, I know I can get a Jayco Greyhawk Class C, which is built on an E450 frame. Now, that's a Class C, and it'll pull 7,500 pounds. So it seems odd to me that this big diesel coach can't pull more than 5,000 pounds. And it might be a deal breaker. I don't know yet. So anyway, let's have a look. And you can see that it has a full slide. It has the Max Force diesel engine. The rear cap is very attractive. It's got the backup camera. It's got your ladder. It looks good. I don't see any issues with it except for that hitch. That could be a problem. Driver's side, another slide out. They're not very deep slide outs, but they are slide outs. And there's lots of storage. Wow. Now, I know that there's some plumbing and maybe a generator and some propane and stuff in there. I'm not going to bother to open them up. But it sure looks like there's lots of storage for, you know, one or two people. It's probably tons. Okay, so let's go inside. Well, first thing right at the door, there's a pet window, so Little Bear is going to be really happy. So let's go inside, and I'll tell you, first of all, it's dark, there's no power, and it is hot in here. Wow. First impressions, though, it's very, very nice. Okay, I'm in the driver's seat. It's a nice 6-way power leather seat. There's the automatic levelers, the transmission. Lots of good stuff. Very fancy. Some nice keys. There's the, looks like the backup camera and probably a GPS, radio. That's a good feature. A couple of DC plugs for powering things. Fire extinguisher. Fans in the corners. Very nice. And cabinetry up top. So it's really well appointed. And down beside the passenger seat, we've got a bunch of service switches. Looks like awning, exterior lighting, probably a slide in there. Can't really read it. And now in the main part of the coach, you can see it is there's tons of room in this coach. For only 32 feet, it really does have a lot of storage. And you can see it's very deep storage, and it's open right along the way. Storage on both sides, and those are nice raised panel doors on each of these cupboards. Very nice. Under the dinette, there's a couple more big drawers for storage. Very nice dinette. It's unique. As I say, lots of storage. Got a decent sized freezer, no ice maker, not a big deal. And a fridge, looks like an 8, maybe a 10 cubic footer, I'm not really sure. And beside it, a pantry, a couple of shelves, they're adjustable. And down below, another part of the pantry for canned goods or spices. Very nice detail. Now we go across to the kitchen. So we start with a microwave convection oven. Very nice. Now there's no oven per se here. Instead you get 3 extra drawers. I think that's a great feature. Why do you need an oven when you got a convection oven? You got a 2-burner stovetop, propane obviously. Split sinks, nice feature, really nice feature. Corian counters, residential faucets. There's the TV, it's a Panasonic. Now I'm sitting in the dinette here and you can see the TV very easily, so that's not an issue. You got ducted air conditioning, that's a great feature. And now we go down to the bathroom. You've got a dividing door, you've got a good sized shower. It doesn't show very well, it's hard to film this. And across the hall you've got the toilet area. The toilet, what do you expect? Sink. Good size cabinets though. You got place for your toiletries, your shaving gear. And now we go back to the bedroom, and the bedroom was hard to explain. It was really dark. It was very difficult to film it. But there's a ton of hang-up storage. You got a suede-ish headboard. I don't know what it is. It felt like suede. Lots of storage unit, and then right above the bed you got a fold-up television. It folds right into the ceiling. I thought that was a really good feature. Saves a lot of space. It was a cramped bedroom. I didn't think it was overly big, but there was a lot of storage in it, so it was pretty decent. So all in all, as a coach that meets my specs, I'd say it's absolutely beautiful. Tiffin does a nice job. But you know, you can do all the research you want. Really what it's going to come down to when it's time to buy, it's going to be the right deal at the right time, and who knows what I'm going to end up with. Thanks for watching, folks. So all in all, I would say as my first choice meeting my specs, it's a beautiful coach. The problem is it's expensive.